नमस्कार, MH1 प्राइम पर आप सभी का स्वागत है। मैं हूं आपके साथ खुशबू शर्मा, लेकर हाजिर हैं एक बार फिर आप सभी का पसंदीदा प्रोग्राम। पसंदीदा इसलिए क्योंकि आपके व्यूज, आपके रिप्लाईज हमें ये बताते हैं कि आप हमारे शो को कितना पसंद कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि हमारे शो में हमेशा हम आपकी जिंदगी से जुड़े बेहद इंपॉर्टेंट मुद्दों को लेकर हाजिर होते हैं। वो मुद्दे जो हमारी जिंदगी, हमारे समाज से जुड़े हैं, हमारे परिवार से जुड़े हैं, कई बार जिन्हें सुनना आसान है लेकिन समझना मुश्किल होता है। तो इस शो में हमारी कोशिश यही रहती है कि हम आपको आप ही की जिंदगी से, आपके अपने अस्तित्व से रूबरू कराएं। और इसके लिए हमारे साथ हमेशा हमारे स्टूडियो में एक बेहतरीन गेस्ट हमेशा हमारे साथ आती हैं, जिनका नाम है मरिएला ज़ैनेट्टी। मरिएला वैसे तो इटली से हैं, लेकिन यकीन जानिए वो आजकल पिछले 10 सालों से लगभग, मैं कहूंगी एक बड़ा अरसा होता है, वो भारत में ही है, भारत के लोगों के बीच रहती हैं, आपके और हमारे दिल की बात को, हमारी जिंदगी की बातों को समझती हैं, और कहीं मुश्किल आती है तो उससे हमें निकालने का काम भी करती हैं। वो है सिस्टमिक साइकोथेरेपिस्ट और हम सबकी दोस्त हैं। तो चलिए स्वागत करते हैं मरिएला का। मरिएला, वेलकम टू द शो। हाउ आर यू, हाउ आर यू डूइंग?
I'm good. What about yourself?
बहुत अच्छे हैं, वेरी गुड। और आप हमारे शो में आती हैं तो हम बहुत अच्छे हो जाते हैं। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर बीइंग अ पार्ट ऑफ आवर शो। थैंक यू सो मच। ओके मरिएला, आज हम बात करेंगे एक ऐसे टॉपिक पर, सेल्फ एक्सेप्टेंस, क्योंकि हम जैसे हैं, जो हैं, वो हम सबसे बेहतर हैं। हमें अपने आप को स्वीकार करना चाहिए, लेकिन बदलाव की गुंजाइश भी हमें अपने साथ रखनी चाहिए, क्योंकि परिवर्तन समाज का नियम है। तो सबसे पहले आपसे जानना चाहेंगे, व्हाट इज सेल्फ एक्सेप्टेंस?
Yes, it's a very important topic we are discussing today, because I believe it's the core of everything, and how we live our life, how we live in our relationship. So self-acceptance is basically the idea that we accept ourselves as a whole. Okay, so we see our flaws, we see our imperfection, we see what we like, and we accept everything without judging. And it's not about just being passive and accepting, but if you accept, is actually the right step, the first step for changing. If you want to change something, you need to know where you are, right? You need to know who you are. Yes. So first of all, look inside, accept, and then you can change. And it's also about learning to, if you, let's say you made a mistake, something went wrong, instead of judging yourself, learn from that. Okay, so you take that as an opportunity to grow. It's about having a growth mindset where you want to improve, but in order to do that, you need to be aware of who you are. And sometimes, I'm sure it happened to you as well, that you have the critical voice, and you do something wrong. Maybe you have done an interview and then you criticize yourself, and it's like, no, why did I say that? But it's also about being kind to yourself and say, you know what, yes, I did, or I said something wrong, but it doesn't matter. I will learn, and next time I'll do a better job. So
it's opportunity, as you said.
Yes. An opportunity is also a way to maybe talk back to the self-critical voice, because lots of us, I don't know, how were your parents? Were your parents encouraging you all the time, or sometimes they were critical, judging?
Yeah,
mine were. Yeah, my mom. Yeah. Yes. Still she is. So anyway, but the idea is, okay, we might have internalized that, but now we can do something different. We can be compassionate and kind with ourselves.
दैट इज वेरी नाइस कि अपने आप को पहचानना, समझना जरूरी है। और मरिएला ने कहा कि अपने आप को समय देना भी बेहद जरूरी है। गलतियां इंसान का स्वभाव है, गलतियां हर व्यक्ति करता है, लेकिन उन गलतियों से सीखना और अपने आप को पहचानना, अपने आप को एक मौका देना, वो बड़ी चीज है, और आपको यही करना है। अगर आपकी कोई आलोचना करता है तो आपको घबराना नहीं है, या फिर आपको कहते हैं ना कि डीमोटिवेट होने की जरूरत नहीं है। आप अपने आप को एक मौका दीजिए, अपने आप से बात कीजिए, क्योंकि बहुत कुछ है जो सिर्फ और सिर्फ आपके अंदर छिपा है, और आप ही अपने आप को बेहतर जान सकते हैं। आप ही अपने दिल का आईना होते हैं। चलिए इस कॉन्वर्सेशन को और आगे बढ़ाते हैं, और कुछ बेहतरीन बातें जानने के लिए फिर से मरिएला से चर्चा करने की कोशिश करते हैं। मरिएला, समटाइम्स वी थिंक कि सेल्फ एक्सेप्टेंस यानी अपने आप को जैसे हम हैं वैसे स्वीकारना चाहे बदलाव के साथ, चाहे कमियों के साथ, या उन कमियों पर काम करना, दिस इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग। लेकिन क्या सेल्फ इस्टीम की अगर हम बात करें तो व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन सेल्फ एक्सेप्टेंस एंड सेल्फ इस्टीम?
Yes, if you think of it, the self-acceptance improve the quality of our life. That means that also our self-esteem, because we learn who we are, we accept, and then we give more value. So self-esteem is just how much we value ourselves in terms of how good we are we valuable. But self-acceptance is also to look at the parts, the bits that we don't like, and accept them. So self-acceptance, if it's there, we know ourselves enough, we have awareness, our self-esteem will go up. When self-esteem is in a better place, the quality of life also improves.
हम सेल्फ एक्सेप्टेंस के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं क्योंकि बहुत लोग होते हैं वो नहीं स्वीकार कर पाते क्योंकि हर व्यक्ति का नेचर डिफरेंट होता है। तो इसीलिए हमें आज आपसे ये जानने की जरूरत पड़ी कि व्हाई इज सेल्फ एक्सेप्टेंस इज सो इम्पोर्टेंट। सो मैरिएला, व्हाई इज सेल्फ एक्सेप्टेंस इज इम्पोर्टेंट? क्यों जरूरी है अपने आप को स्वीकार करना?
Yes, it's important because when we accept ourselves, first of all, as I said earlier, we need to know ourselves, you know, our negative, positive paths, then we accept, and from that place we become less critical, towards ourselves, but also with the people around us. So it can make our relationship better, it can make the life of other people better. And we will learn how to tolerate more frustration, more sense of guilt, sense of shame, because we know that even somebody, let's say somebody criticizes you, we know that maybe that tells more about the person than about yourself, because you know yourself. So you're not just giving the power to the outside to define who you are, but you have an awareness. So it's important for ourselves, relationship with ourselves. It's important in all our relationship with our children, our loved ones, friends, and it's also important to how do I say, as an antidote to fear.
Okay.
Because if I know myself, if I know my strength, if I know that I've gone through whatever I've gone through life and survived, I know that I can do it again. So it's important to because it improves the quality of our lives.
Sometimes ऐसा होता है मैरिएला, I mean we know, I mean everybody has a different kind of nature. हर व्यक्ति का अलग नेचर होता है। तो sometimes if everybody is always full of anger, हमेशा गुस्से में रहता है, and the other's nature is he is happy all the time, like मेरी तरह, I'm like me, I'm happy all the time. So how can we
then I'll become myself after the dark.
Thank you so much, it's also a pleasure of mine and like a compliment. So overall, so everybody has a different kind of nature, so how can we relate ourselves to our nature?
Oh, but hold on, because what is nature? It's not that we were born with a certain DNA that says we're happy or not. But something very important is that we do have, now I don't remember exactly the percentage, but I believe it's like 50% is genetical. So
Yeah,
where your parents, where were the level of well-being of your parents, level of happiness, and that is determined. That we don't do much. And then there is another big percentage is how we were brought up and the environment.
Exactly.
But then I think it's 20 or more percent in what we can do with that. So it's not that it's our nature. There's no such a thing as nature. We can always change. So if you find yourself, okay, you are the happy one, I don't know, maybe your husband is the angry one.
No, he's also happy one.
Yes, I don't know, some other
Yeah,
person,
exactly, yeah.
But that person can always, first of all, accepting. I accept that I have anger inside me. I don't like it, but I accept it. And from there, I can then change because I look around, I look at people, how do happy people live, or I go see a therapist, or I read, or I improve myself. So it's not about the nature, huh? Nature can always be changed.
So Mariella, आज हम जिस टॉपिक पर चर्चा कर रहे हैं that is very important for everybody. तो why is it so difficult to accept ourselves? क्योंकि बहुत लोग नहीं समझ पाते कि माहौल की वजह से या अपने घर की वजह से हम जैसे हैं वैसे क्यों अपने आप को स्वीकार नहीं कर पाते?
Yes, first of all, it's not difficult for everyone, but most of us, as we said before, had critical parents.
Yes.
Then if you think, research says that until the age of 8, we as children, we only have the idea who we are through our parents. So if our parents don't do a great job, then we have to work extra hard to build that. And you know, lots of parents just do it, just criticize or judge because they think, oh, then my son, my daughter will do better. But it's not always like that, because the perception that we have about ourselves was, you know, generated there. So maybe it's better to give a good image, and of course there are always things that parents believe the child should learn or change, but then start with the acceptance, start with valuing what is there, and then when you have a strong sense of who you are, from there you can move. And why is it difficult? Yes, as we were saying before, the critical voice, the inner dialogue. I'm sure even people now, they're watching, or you're listening, but you might have something going on in your mind, and lots of time it's not very positive, it's not very good about yourself, you're judging, and that voice inside doesn't help you to accept who you are, and then becomes all that can trigger anxiety, depression. So our mental health gets affected. So that's why it's important to be aware who you are and accept who you are. From there, you can do some work and change or get a better version, become a better version of yourself.
बहुत अच्छी बात है ये, और कोशिश कीजिए कि अपने आप में बदलाव आप लेकर आए, वो भी पॉजिटिव बदलाव। उसके लिए आप किसी थेरेपिस्ट की सहायता भी ले सकते हैं। मरियला है, आप अपने सवालों के जवाब हमसे चाहते हैं तो आप हमें लगातार मेल भी कर सकते हैं। हमारी मेल आईडी लगातार टीवी स्क्रीन पर आपको फ्लैश होती हुई नजर आ रही है। लेकिन सिर्फ कोशिश इतनी सी कि आपको जिंदगी में खुश रहना है, बदलाव करना है। भले ही नेगेटिव दौर से आप गुजर रहे हैं, लेकिन फिर भी कोशिश कीजिए कि आपका सेल्फ एक्सेप्टेंस जो है, यानी आप अपने आप को जो स्वीकृति देते हैं, अपने आप को जो पहचानने की ताकत है, वो सिर्फ आप में है। Mariella, what are some ways to foster our self acceptance? कैसे हम लोग कोशिशें करें, क्योंकि बहुत मुश्किलें होती हैं, कई बार लोग इस तरह से कामयाब नहीं हो पाते हैं, एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर पाते हैं। आपसे जानना चाहेंगे।
You know, I was smiling because I was thinking when I was talking just now about being critical, and I can never watch any of my interviews because I'm very critical. So this is to say that process, self-acceptance process, it's ongoing. I'm almost there, but for certain things not there yet. But yes, it's a process, as I said, and we need to be kind to ourselves. As we are kind with our friends or people we love, if we can do that with ourselves, that also will help us to give, self-love. That we always go around seeking for love outside, but we're not very good at giving it to ourselves. But that's very important. It's also important to confront your fears. So if you have some fears, more than avoid, like maybe the fear of speaking in front of the camera. Instead of avoiding that, you actually do it, and you do it more, so that you grow out from that fear. And as we always say, and stay positive, because being positive helps us in our life, more or less, same number of negative and positive things happen. But so why don't we focus more on the positive and make it bigger? And then accepting our imperfection. Oh, lots of my clients are perfectionists. I think I'm also, but anyways, that's a different story.
I think you are.
But yes, accept that maybe there are some imperfections and they're not that bad. Even when we, I don't know, there was a very ugly dog during the lockdown coming outside my door, very ugly. But then I developed love for the dog. Means that it's not just about the look or how the dog was behaving. It was misbehaving sometimes, but accepting that there is beauty, there is, how do I say, value in anything, even things about us that we don't like. And it's also about believing in yourself. There is this bit that I really like, the idea that we have survived the worst things which has happened in our life. Because if we're here now, means that we have survived. And all of us had some very bad things that happened. But we're still here, so we have survived. That means that we can do that again. And don't give up. If you want to improve, if you want to make your life better, you know, keep working on it. It's an ongoing process, and I think it's the beauty of life.
वेरी ग्रेट, बहुत अच्छी बात है। कहते हैं कि रात सुबह का इंतजार नहीं करती, खुशबू मौसम का इंतजार नहीं करती, और जो भी पल आपको मिला है उसे खुशी से जी लो, क्योंकि जिंदगी वक्त का इंतजार नहीं करती। हमारी कोशिश यही रहती है कि आप जो भी इस प्रोग्राम के माध्यम से सीखें, अगर 1% भी उस पर आप अमल कर लें, जो भी मरियला ने कहा है, जो सलाह आपको दी है, वो यकीन जानिए आपकी बेहतरी के लिए है। तो इसलिए आपको उस पर अमल करना चाहिए, सुनना चाहिए, और हो सके तो अपनी ज़िंदगी में भी आप शामिल करें। देखें आप कैसे बदलाव करके खुश रहते हैं, अपने समाज को, अपने परिवार को खूबसूरत बना सकते हैं। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया मरियला हमारे शो का हिस्सा बनने के लिए। थैंक यू सो मच, एंड सीरियसली इट इज़ अ प्लेजर कि आप हमारे शो पर आती हैं, आप हमसे बात करती हैं, और यू जस्ट बी अ पार्ट ऑफ आवर शो। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर दिस।
थैंक यू फॉर हैविंग मी।
तो चलिए, आपसे फिर होगी अगले रविवार मुलाकात, लेकिन फिलहाल क्योंकि समय इजाजत दे रहा है, अब आपसे विदा लेने का वक्त आ गया है। लेकिन वादा करते हैं अगले रविवार फिर लौटेंगे बेहतरीन टॉपिक के साथ, उस पर चर्चा के साथ। हमारे साथ बेहतरीन गेस्ट होंगी मरियला ज़ैनेट्टी। दीजिए इजाजत, नमस्कार।